Hello, how are you? My name is Elizabeth. Welcome to my channel, Embracing the Chaos. Here on my channel, I like to embrace the chaos that's going on inside you or around you at this time. Now, before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and apologize. Little man decided that he needs to eat some victuals, so he's down there munching away, so you may hear that for a little bit. I want to give a special thanks to all of you that have stuck by me. And for you newcomers, check it out. See what's going on. You never know. I've been sitting in contemplation all morning. It's mid-afternoon. So quite a few hours. And meditating and researching and browsing. And because I was receiving different messages from different deities. I was also receiving messages from different messengers as well. And the first thing that I heard this morning, I'm going to get into the notes and then we'll get into the reading. Okay. So the first thing that I was getting this morning, 1:11 on time, was it was a song, but it was a line in that song, and of course there's one word changed. The line, the one that is famous, one that you would know is, I see clearly now that the rain is gone. Okay. But what I heard was, I see clearly now that the fog is gone. So we could have been in a bit of a foggy place. Had a lot of things going on. A little muddied water here. And it was clouding our judgment. It was clouding our perception of things, because there's a lot of perception, a lot of perceiving things that are going on within this reading or within my contemplation time. So I feel like there's someone that's needing a little bit of explanation. Not that I feel the need to explain, but if someone's needing a little bit of education possibly on how one, per se like me, perceives different information and where does it come from and how do we know and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, for starters, now this is just a baseline. You have to go with your intuition. You have to go with discernment. You have to go with your energy, the feeling around it, right? But for a baseline, the left side is the feminine energy. This is also associated with dark energy. And then the right side is the masculine, and this is associated with light energy. Now, this doesn't mean that the feminine energy is all dark, okay? You can have feminine energy that is light, and you can have masculine energy that is dark, okay? I felt like somebody needed to, maybe somebody's learning how to read different energies here, and they were just kind of curious, okay? Something's being awakened within us. Something that has been unawakened for quite some time, or is kind of giving, it was kind of giving the energy of something that's kind of been dormant for a little bit. Because, well, we'll get into that in a minute. Look, it could have been like a spiritual blind spot. Spiritually, we couldn't see something, and that's the energy that I was getting. Okay, so then I was picking up on a particular thread, a particular energy. And they gave me this scenario. Let's say you have a piano bench, okay? And the pin is missing out of the hinge. And so you're quick on your toes, you're quick on your think, you got to get that hinge fixed, you got to figure out something, right? So let's say you take a nail and you put it in that hinge to keep it together so that both hinges work properly. And at first it works as it should. But as time goes on, because we didn't turn the end of that nail, it falls back out. So that was the analogy. That's what they showed me. Okay. So what I took from that was something appeared to work. Things lined up. But once things were set into motion, something else was revealed and it lacked substance. There seems to be somebody here that's a little bit pissed off at you because you rejected them in some way. I don't know if that's a side note or if this actually all goes together. It was just a different timelines. And then as I was sitting with the energy and I was continuously working through what was coming through, I heard someone spoke some kind of truth to someone. And it looks to me like you went up against some kind of scholar of some sort. You disagreed with their conclusion in a situation. And what you said was the truth. And you have someone that's reflecting on this. You have someone that's like, I guess there's a possibility, either there was a conversation that was being made. Maybe you made I don't want to say that, a perception. You gave your view, your take on the situation. It looks like I don't feel like they're saying that it was you that actually made this take on the situation, but I do feel like they're taking credit for it, which is not something that you're really concerned about. However, I don't know why it's important, other than the fact that your guides want you to know that you were accurate, you were truthful, and you have some kind of disbelief in yourself, and they really want you, and they're urging you to trust and believe in your abilities, because it seems like to me, in the energy is you're very wise. You have an infinite amount of knowledge. So you could be a high priestess or a high priest. Let me turn the fan on. It's getting a little warm. Let's see. Okay, so they want me to tap in and let you know that you have some kind of untapped talents. You're very talented with what you are currently working on, but you have some kind of untapped talents that are very, very strong, and you're about to discover them. They're about to like be coming in full force, okay? And they wanted to give you a heads up. Some of these will be coming online for you, and to be patient with yourself as you work through these energies and start to process things and understand how it is. And I heard this loud and clear, and it was very positive. It was coming from a guide. It was very, it was like, there was a lot of excitement about it. Very enthusiastic. Your life is about to be changed forever. And like the forever was the emphasis, like it was emphasized. Okay. And shortly after that, this is what was struck me weird. As I was writing down the notes, I mean, I was a spelling bee champion growing up, in school and whatnot, so I can spell really well. As I was writing out the word prognosis, okay, that was the word that came in, but when I was writing it out, I spelled it prognosis versus Prognosis. That, in of itself, was amusing to me. It really was. It was amusing. Prognosis, because you know things, okay? A prognosis, let me give you a definition out of that. An educated prediction of the likely outcome of a disease or injury, including the chances of recovery, potential reoccurrence, and how the condition might progress over time. And then prognosis versus diagnosis, just to give you a little bit of baseline so you kind of understand that a diagnosis is identified through tests. A prognosis is a predicted course of a diagnosis of some sort. So this could have been, now I'm no health physician, neither are you, obviously, but I do feel like this was something that was health related to a situation. And you disagreed with what the diagnosis or with the scholar's prognosis. Now, I am understanding that your abilities to see things and to work through certain energies is something that you are kind of struggling with. You're kind of questioning. You could be trying to help others with your abilities, but you're worried about giving wrong information. And you're being guided to know that, no, You're perfectly good. You're on point. You're really, really good at what you do, okay? You could have Scorpio in your chart. And then I was getting a seal of guaranteed authenticity. Whatever that means. So, like... And then after that, okay, so yeah, they're pulling me back to what the energy was that was coming in after I heard the seal of authenticity. Okay, so whoever this individual is that's taking credit for your prognosis, can't live up to the expectations of that. They cannot back that up. You, however, are very capable of it. So I feel like somebody's going to be viewing you, or somebody is attempting to reach out to you because they're needing some kind of information. They may be asking questions, wanting your take on something. And if that's not the case, then this is just somebody that's living in regret, to be honest with you. The energy is definitely regretful. Regretful for not paying attention to you, and regretful for not listening to you and seeing how valuable you were. 11:11 on the timer. Really wanting to go back and change things, but they're blocked. And I'm understanding that this is an energy of someone that, because of their spiritual development, because of their immaturity, their maturity, the emotional maturity of this individual, things cannot be rekindled, and they are struggling to make you look bad. They're trying. Oh, yes, they're trying, but it's not working out to their benefit. And especially with them trying to take on your abilities, to appear to have the same abilities that you do. It's not benefiting them. It's not working out very good in their favor. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump into the tarot, shall we? Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Star with the Knight of Cups, and the Hangman energy. There's that perception. So someone is looking back, it looks like, on a possible... You could have been in connection with this person. You could have had a relationship with this person. Something transpired quickly, and they're seeing you as the North Star, as the light. But they didn't see it at the time that you were with them. I feel like you tried to bring love to the situation while still maintaining your own cup of love there. And for some reason, something caused the brakes, someone, you, them, there was a perception shift. What is the perception shift? What was that shift about? The Strength card. It's like pulling teeth. What are you pulling teeth? Because, you know, in the Strength card, she doesn't use brute strength to get the lion to open its mouth. So there's some kind of ability that you're able to reveal certain information that not necessarily others can. And you do it with ease. You do it with poise, is what I'm hearing. Looks like you chose to protect yourself, to stand your ground. You delivered some kind of message here, and they didn't believe in your strength. Their take on you is totally different than it was. You could have given, I kind of feel like you've given a prognosis, and this could have been something that was health related with them, something that was health related with a family member of theirs. In any event, it doesn't know. I mean, it kind of varies. It can change. It can be different. It could have been several. I don't know. I'm feeling like all of the above, to be honest with you. You've were in this person's life and you gave them quite a bit of information. Okay. Now that you're gone, they're not going to be able to sustain the energy in which you brought to the table, your abilities. So they could have been, over the course of the time that you were interacting with this individual, using your abilities, using your information, the information that you gave to them, and was putting it out there as if it was their own information. And now that you have disassociated yourself, it looks like someone could be coming to them for advice or coming to them for their take on things, and this person isn't able to deliver. They're not able to deliver, so they could be wanting to reach out to you to get your take on something. So be very mindful that there's a possibility this, yep, 4 Wands. Oh, they're learning. They're learning what it takes. They don't have... And it's not that you're any better than them or they're any worse than you or anything like that. It's just a matter of spiritual awareness and the abilities to navigate certain energies. And this individual doesn't have the abilities that you have. Not everyone has psychic abilities. Not everyone has the ability to tap into the Akashic records. And I'm not sure if you're really aware that you have that ability. To be honest with you, it kind of feels like it's a little void there. There's a little bit of a hesitation. There's a little, and I was picking up an energy of that you didn't believe and trust in yourself. So, looks like you could have went away to, you could have had to move away from this individual to bring some kind of stability to yourself. Because things... the messages that were coming in, there's like some kind of chaotic messages that kept coming in, and red flags, and it created things to be at an imbalance for you. And the more and more that you spent with this energy, the more and more time that you were there, the more and more things became a little less, well, it just wasn't your cup of tea, to be honest with you. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Just they're pointing out the cup that's being held up. It just wasn't your cup. You had to stand up for yourself. Yeah, you had to stand up, and I am seeing you made some kind of swift change here. Once something came on, and here's the thing. Being a high priest or a high priestess, it's very difficult when you first start out, especially when you see things, to not take action before it's time to take action. The ability to see things is a good thing. We just have to learn to be patient. And I can tell you at the beginning of my spiritual journey that it was very difficult for me to be patient. I mean, I don't have the best patience in the world. But I'm learning patience, and I'm learning to be patient with the energies, and learning to understand that patience is very vital, especially when you are a high priestess. Because if you take action too soon, it could throw the course of things off, and then you could find yourself in a bad situation, and you don't want to do that. There it is. Chariot. You could be traveling. I'm seeing the Chariot with the 8 of Wands there. You could be communicating you would like to travel. There's a change. There's a change in travel plans, possibly. You have the Magician, the Hermit, the 5 of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles. So you're definitely moving into a place of empowerment, because I'm seeing the Queen of Pentacles here. You're standing on your business. You're taking care of things. Someone feels like they truly missed an opportunity with you. They're trying to manifest you. It looks like they're trying to manifest you, and you've ghosted them. You've elevated yourself. You've elevated yourself, or you are elevating yourself from a place where you felt a sense of sadness around it. You obviously had feelings for this individual. Even if it was a friend. I mean, you can have love for a friend. And Yeah. Looks like this person could have had individuals around them that doubted, that put lack in their minds, or an outside energy of some sort. This could have been, let's see what that is. What is the Three of Cups? Is this a person, or is this a substance? An energy. You just had to make a judgment call on the situation. They could have received some kind of call from someone. Either that, or you could have been receiving messages for quite some time. It looks like to me like you were receiving messages for quite some time that you needed to, that something was lacking within this and you had to free yourself from it. Once you realized that the situation was lacking, you thought about it, you processed it. I see that. And that's when you made that realization, and you had to move away from this because it was draining you. It was taking from you in some way. It didn't value you. And they didn't value you. They didn't trust in what you were saying to you. But now they're reflecting on the truth that you did tell them. And they're trying to use that as if they were the ones that were able to see the information. And if it's not already happening, it will happen in the future. This individual is going to run into a roadblock. Somebody's going to come to them wanting them to give further prognosis on a situation. And they're not going to be able to handle that because they don't have the spiritual abilities. Okay. Well, isn't that interesting? What you got yourself into, but it's quite... This energy is quite interesting. I mean, different than what I'm used to reading. Let's see if there's anything else we need to know about the situation. There's that Five of Wands back out. Tell me about that. Just 1 second as I work through the energy, please. This is more information. Someone's really stressed. They tried to control the direction of things, but they didn't have nearly the control that they believed to have had. They're learning. Unfortunately, they're learning that what they truly wanted, they sabotaged it in some way because they allowed their fears to intervene in the situation. And I'm getting like an energy of someone that, like I said, they wanted to take credit for your abilities, but they don't have the ability to continue it. And now that you're out of the picture, others are going to be looking to them, and they don't have the abilities. They're going to want to communicate with you so that they can potentially use your energy to obtain the information that others are seeking from them at this time, because they have portrayed themselves to be a wise one. Not that they're not a smart individual. They just don't have the spiritual capabilities of you. And can they? Yes, everyone can if they do enough healing. Psychic? No, not everybody can be psychic. Not everyone is psychic or has psychic abilities. But this individual believes that they have psychic abilities. They believe that they are tapped in. And I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just saying the energies that you associate with, where you get your information, is completely different from the energies that they get their information from. Although it could be the same source. Okay, now let me explain. So say that you work with you can't be of dark and work with dark energies and understand dark energies if you don't work with dark deities. Just saying. You can agree and disagree. I don't care. I know what I know. But if you work with certain energies, it's on which side are you dealing with this individual? Are you dealing with that dark deity in a positive way or a negative way? Are you using this deity and the information that they can bring to you in a positive way or a negative way? So it's about how others perceive. Now, this individual has gone so far as to make it look as though the information, where you were gaining your information, was from the dark side of a particular deity. Which, truth be told, that is exactly, if they receive any information, it is a low vibrational, it is from a darker side, okay? And they try to use that to better themselves. Whereas you, my lovely, you may use dark energies, but you're on the positive side, and it's to help others, not yourself. So it's all in the way that we perceive things and how we use them to our benefit. And I don't feel like you're using it to the benefit of yourself, which therefore you're using it on the right side of things. And yes, you can't have one without the other. You can't work with all light beings. I'm sorry. And give advice to others on dark energies that they're dealing with if you don't know anything about dark energies. You just can't. It doesn't work that way. See what else comes out, please. What else do we need to know? Yeah, they were definitely trying to control things here. And it looks to me like you being a high priest or a high priestess, you're like, yeah, I got other ideas. I got other plans. What you think is happening ain't happening no more. You might have went along. Kind of went along. Yeah. This person's trying to hold on to you. And it's like the more and more they try to hold on to you, the more and more things become chaotic for them. They're trying to hold on to something here. They're trying to hold you back from some kind of idea, some kind of goal of yours. And it's giving like, I mean, look at his face, for crying out loud. He's like smiling, like it's a grudgeful kind of energy, out of spite. Try to resist, try to block you from, because this is a winning at all cost mentality of an individual. And this person is definitely one that, okay, now I'm seeing one of the rejections there. The rejection is the fact that they want others to perceive them as a wise individual. And they, like I said, they can't sustain that. So without your abilities with applying to their situation and being in their energy, they may have been able to tap more so into their abilities, whatever their abilities were, because of your energy being associated with your energy, because you are of light and you do wish to help others. And I feel like this energy is someone that really wants others to perceive them to be who you are. So this is giving someone that truly is wanting to be you. Maybe not on a character level or an individual level, but on a spiritual level. So they may have made it out to be something that it wasn't. Made themselves out to be something that they weren't. And it's biting them in the butt. That's what I'm seeing. Yep. Well, that's no more. Because I see that you closed out the cycle on this. Once you realize that this individual was holding you back. Knight of Cups. This person may want to offer or extend some kind of love offering, some kind of peace offering, some kind of olive branch here to bring things back into balance. But with the world right there, I don't see you doing it. So they could be trying to circle back around, but they are merely trying to block you from what is yours. Getting an energy of someone that wants to live off of your energy in order to gain what you have worked so hard for. So to receive, to have the kind of lifestyle that you are about to experience, and it's because of your abilities. I speak of the truth. All you gotta do is accept some kind of truth. Accept the truth for what it is. The truth is, you are who you are. You are a divine being. You're very spiritual. You have a lot of spiritual gifts, and things are about to ramp up for you. There you go. Accept the role. It's like you need to accept the teacher role here. Are you in a place to teach others? Possibly. Maybe you need to speak up about some kind of lesson here. Yeah. You're definitely needing to just step into the role of teacher to help heal others. And I feel like, I mean, honestly, that's what you want to do anyway. So what's holding you back? You're wounded by this. I see that there's some pain here. I mean, you allow this person in, but you're learning to see what's meant for you and what's not. And what's meant for you is the divine path that you're on and where you're supposed to be led. And you have the abilities because your heart's open to the changes that needs to transpire. And there's some kind of planetary alignment. And like I said at the beginning of the reading, Scorpio had something to do with it. So it could have been something that happened during Scorpio season, Leo season. There's a worldly aspect here. Like you're going to touch lives of many with whatever it is you're going to be doing. Oh. Well, that's cool. Wonder what that is. It's like you're needing to accept some kind of belief system, and that belief system betrayed you. I'm going to speak on a controversial topic. It's my belief. I'm not religious, by the way. I was raised Baptist. I went to church. I was saved, baptized, all that stuff. I was always being put out in the hall because of the questions that I would ask because it didn't align with my soul. The preacher would make me sit in the back row and told me to keep my mouth shut because of the questions that I would ask. I even took some college classes, and my instructor, because it was done online, muted me to where I couldn't speak. They took it as I was one that was trying to cause chaos, cause drama within their sermons. That wasn't the case. 3 on the timer. I was asking questions because I needed more answers. And the questions that I was asking were answers they couldn't give me. And this was how they shut me down. And I just didn't believe with some of I believe with some of their guidelines, morally they're correct for me and they work for me and I understand them. But in the overall sense, the whole subject of it is different. Mine's different, okay? And I'm being stopped. They're telling me, hush my mouth. Okay, I'm gonna hush my mouth. They're not being rude about it. They're just urging me not to say anything further. So I'm not going to say anything further. I'm not trying to rub anyone the wrong way. I'm not trying to say that your way's the wrong way, my way's right. We're on a totally different timeline. I'm not you and you're not me. Okay? 5 of Swords. Well. I'm hearing an angelic sound right now, like a harp. Masculine. It's on the masculine side. Okay, that was a message for me right there. Hold back my tongue. I did. Tell me about the moon. So there's some kind of internal conflict that seems to be someone is holding on to. They're denying themselves from seeing, from learning. It's like they're denying themselves. They're hiding the fact that this could be somebody that's holding on to you that you've had conflict with, that seems to be, you know, watching you, observing you, learning from you, but they're hiding. There's that, and they're pulling me to that spiritual blind spot. Tell me about that. You could be doing it through the internet. Yeah. They're definitely laying low. It's a ghost energy. Like they're hiding themselves. Well, that's kind of cute. I mean, they don't want others to know that they're still listening to you. So if you do readings on YouTube or TikTok or one of those other platforms, however they're able to watch you, Facebook, they're very much keeping tabs on you that way. Because they want to continue to learn from you, if nothing else. Which I don't feel like you have an issue with that either. Tell me about that. They are definitely manifesting and hoping and praying to the divine will grant them the ability to heal from the loss, the feelings of sadness, the grief over you, over losing you. Access denied. No, they're gonna have to feel it. They sabotaged, and eventually they're gonna see why you had to separate yourself from them. But I don't know why this is important. Why it's important to know that they're watching you. I guess maybe you're curious. I don't know. But the divine is saying, I'm hearing someone's guides are saying they're not going to be able to escape the loss or the truth of the situation because they were gifted something. They were gifted you in their presence, and they didn't uphold their end of the deal, the bargaining, what they were manifesting. The divine gave them you. I mean, an earth angel. And that's where I feel like you've experienced a lot of relationships where you're gifted. You are being gifted to certain individuals, and they don't value you until you walk away, and then they want to try to take back all the pain and the wounding and the hurt. And when all they had to do was sit with themselves and not hurt you in the process, you were there. You were brought to them. You were handed to them in a silver platter and said, here is my gift to you from the universe, from God, from whatever modality works for you, okay? You were gifted to these individuals the open opportunity to completely heal themselves. I mean, we'll never completely heal, but to definitely be more advanced in the healing process because of your abilities. And part of that, they were not They were not. They were guided not to wound you with their wounds. And these individuals wounded you time and time and time again because they couldn't see past themselves. They couldn't get past their ego. They didn't truly believe in you. They truly didn't see you for your value. They didn't value you. And the divine takes you out of that spot, takes you out of those situations every time. The divine's not going to leave you in those situations. And you've grown accustomed to understanding this. So when it's time to exit, you are guided to exit, you just exit. You give it ample opportunity, and they're given plenty of time to realize what they have. It's the choices they make that lead up to the moment you walk out the door. And it's like the moment you walk out the door, they want to paint you out to be a bad guy because society and people believe certain beliefs, and that's their choice. That's fine. But they want to ridicule you. They want to shame you. They want to put you down and say you're all these things because of the way you believe. When, sadly enough, they believe the same. They just don't have the balls to speak up and say it. Huh? They want to hide. And so they want to, it's easy for them to paint you out to be the bad guy when you walk away. Or so they think. Because proof's in the pudding, babes. Proof is in the pudding. I'm pretty sure that 90% of the people that you associated with as far as their friend group was really like, I don't know where you got this one, but you better hang on to this one. And those were messages. Whether this individual sees that or not, they obviously do not. But those were messages from the divine. You better be mindful. You better pay attention. What are you doing? Making bad choices. So this individual was warned time and time and time and time again. And it's like they don't get it. They don't get it, babe. But don't worry. Your person's out there. You'll find them. Just 1 second. Okay, so during my little pause there, I was sitting with the energy. I needed to understand a little bit more what's going on because I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune out here with the Ten of Swords right next to it. And I was asking, trying to understand more, get a little bit more information. And, sometimes a pause is best in those situations because it takes a little while for me to get different points of view. So as I was sitting here and I was asking about it, there's something here that is cyclical. There's something that you're needing to learn, I feel. And it's something that's wounded you that you're needing to reconcile with. You could be changing things in order to reconcile parts of yourself here. That's what I'm seeing. You've learned your lesson. You've learned what you need to learn. Now you're just needing to apply it. That's what I'm seeing. Is that what we're struggling with? Yeah. We have the Judgment there. We're struggling answering that call. And I understand that we get in these situations where we're meant to teach others or teach someone something and we're worried about teaching them the wrong way. Or we're worried about giving away our information. I don't know why someone's worried about giving up their information here, because you're supposed to. You're supposed to. You've mastered the art. You really understand certain energies, and don't be alarmed what others might think or say, because you're gonna have people 4444. You're going to have people that are going to come up against you. You have people that's going to disagree with you, and that's okay. They can disagree all they want to disagree. It's okay. It's just their perception. Doesn't make you right and them wrong. Doesn't make them wrong and you right. So there's an energy of your soul tribe with that 3 of Cups that's being called in. It's reconciling. It's going to help you reconcile other parts of yourself by being able to help others. When when you do readings or you do energetic work like this, just because it's not something that's playing out in your life exactly at that moment doesn't mean that you can't learn and take from it, from the things that you do to help others. And I feel like there's a need to really see that you are in the place, you are that individual, you are that one that receives those messages, and there's not a damn thing wrong with it. There's not. You're not using it for the bad, regardless of what societal beliefs are and what other people's beliefs are. If it resonates for you and you are comfortable with it and you do it on the daily and it flows through you easy, how could it be wrong? How can it be wrong? There's nothing wrong with it. So stop holding yourself back if that's what you're meant to do. Anything else we need to know? You've integrated yourself, my lovely. That's all you've done. You've integrated your shadow and yourself. You've acknowledged your shadow, and you're working with your shadow now. The balance between the masculine and feminine, that's what the goal was anyway. You brought those into balance. Now you're stepping into your purpose. Take off, sweetheart. Do what you gotta do, and do it for you. Well, because I'm gonna tell you right now, what I've been picking up on in the energy and everything of this reading today, you are a badass. Just saying, you're a badass. Well, my lovelies, I do hope this helped you in some way. Leave it in the comments. Let me know. And until we meet again, toodly-doos.